What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the next major DLC update for Modern Warfare 2, some bonus content that was found, and even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and let me know down below in the comment section, how was your Christmas a couple of days ago? Did you have a good time? Did you guys get what you want? Let me know down below. But it feels good to be back. We got plenty to discuss in regards to new DLC updates for Modern Warfare 2. First and definitely foremost, it was confirmed by Infinity Ward that Building 21 has entered a scheduled lockdown. Access cards are now disabled, and reports confirm the infiltration window will repeat. So I'm wondering if every single week we're going to see the same rotation where the map becomes available for maybe a couple of days max, then goes away until the end of a new week. Who knows how this is going to work, but I'm sure in the next 2-3 weeks tops, we'll begin to understand what the consistent rotation is going to be for this map. But is that the right approach for an all-new DMZ map? I mean, first off, the map wasn't even marketed that much to begin with. It was mentioned as a new area for DMZ, but people might have interpreted that as some type of expansion to Almas or the existing DMZ mode we already have. People out there probably didn't go ahead and realize that this is like the rebirth to Verdansk in a way. So the Building 21 to Almas for DMZ, people probably didn't realize how big of an update this really was. So I'm wondering if taking the map out of the game every couple of days is the right approach. But I'm also curious if every reloaded update we end up getting for every new season will not only get a new raid episode, as we already got confirmation of. We're going to be getting those at least once a season for the next couple seasons, but maybe another small experience for DMZ like Building 21 will also release alongside that. Now, both a raid and a DMZ experience like Building 21 will begin to progress the post-launch narrative for Modern Warfare 2 instead of multiplayer or Warzone as of right now. Maybe Season 2 will be a little bit different, where we start getting some post-launch story progression through a new MP map or through a new Almas update, but as of right now, it's just going to be the raids and, of course, DMZ. Now, with that being said, we also got a free New Year's charm added to Modern Warfare 2, and obviously over the last couple of weeks, we've seen plenty of other festive cosmetics added to the game. Those are all themed around Christmas, but I wouldn't be shocked if over the next couple days we get a few more of these cosmetics added for free that are themed all around New Year's. Hopefully you guys take advantage of that. But they also went ahead and dropped a light show themed all around Modern Warfare 2, which is awesome. I'll have that linked down below in this video's description. They posted some clips of it over on Twitter, which was really nice and just a bit different for the promotion of COD 2.0. So definitely didn't expect to see that. Now, we also got an updated bundle schedule from the usual suspect over on Twitter, COD Sploits. So we already confirmed that the New Year's Tracer Pack has released, so hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you guys were interested, add some firework type grenade launcher added in the bundle as well, which is pretty cool. And with that being said, we have December 28th, Notice Me 1.0, December 30th, Pixel Perfect, January 2nd, Tactical Human 2.0, January 6th, Nasty Neon, January 10th, we have the one I'm waiting for, the Damascus Forge 2 Tracer Pack, featuring the good old Damascus camo from MWII over on the Chimera and even a pistol. January 14th, we have the Midnight Merc bundle, and then lastly, January 18th, the Year of the Rabbit. That's the schedule that we have as of right now. That could be changed in the next few weeks. I think the way it works is that every week and a half-ish, we end up seeing a bundle schedule update posted over by the usual suspects. They end up finding out new information if that schedule ever changes. But obviously, you'll notice that that only leads us up to January 18th, not February 1st, which is the start of Season 2. So there could be a few other bundles that do drop in between the 18th to February 1st. For example, the No Evil pack you guys are probably waiting on that has been marketed a little bit. That is the giant monkey skin pack that is going to be coming out at some point. That doesn't have a release date as of right now. So as of this moment, we'll probably go ahead and guess that that'll be coming out after January 18th and before February 1st. But unless it's canceled because of a similar issue that we saw over in Vanguard, where there's a bundle that got planned and made but then had to be removed because of a copyright issue, that bundle as of right now is a bit unknown. And I'm sure there's a few other bundles that are also going to be on deck ready to go to end off Season 1. But then definitely expect the preload for Season 2 to drop probably towards the end of January, which will have more answers as to what to expect from future cosmetics and, of course, future maps and even weapons. But speaking of weapons now, we got this awesome tweet from the legend himself, Maverick, over on Twitter, who did confirm, and I quote, "Saw new unfinished compensators on shotties in private matches. Do you know how these are unlocked?" And it makes him think that a new shotgun is actually going to be coming to the game, which I don't think is out of the question, since we haven't had a new shotgun added to Modern Warfare 2 yet. We've only seen, you know, an AR, an SMG, even a sniper. We're looking forward to more LMGs, probably a few more shotguns. I mean, I'm not much of a shotgun user. I'm not really a fan of them either, but I'm sure we're going to get at least 2 to 3 of those by the end of the game's life cycle. So I think these unfinished compensators are probably a hint towards that, and could even be a hint that the Season 2 weapon is probably going to be a shotgun. And I'm curious how that'll work with the weapon receiver system. Will that be a part of a receiver that features maybe multiple shotguns? Who knows how that'll work for shotguns specifically, but as of right now, that is a very interesting find. Just like with some other things that got found in Modern Warfare 2, where people out there discovered some spicy material in private matches that wasn't meant to be seen just yet. For example, Cyber Attack and Bounty got added to private matches with the start of Season 1, but those modes didn't come out until Season 1 Reloaded. Reloaded. So for all we know, that shotgun tease could be something for either a future season or even Season 2 Reloaded. Now, we don't have much of an idea for what other weapons are going to be dropping in the next season, but we do know about the Crossbow that has leaked out, I think, as of a couple of weeks ago. That might have even been found in the beta files for the game. We know we had a Crossbow over in the campaign, so I think adding that over into multiplayer and even Warzone isn't out of the question whatsoever, but that is probably going to be a weapon that comes out pretty soon. I think that would sell like hotcakes through bundles, and Infinity Ward knows exactly what weapon was used the most over in Modern Warfare 19 and even Warzone 1. So I think anything that was that hot or popular in MW19 season or even throughout Warzone's life cycle is probably going to come back as soon as possible. And that reminds me, Cali sticks were used hell of a lot over in MW19, especially throughout Warzone 1's entire life cycle, all 3 years to be exact. Those obviously got teased in the trailer for the first episode of Raid's Atomgrad, and it's unclear if those are a part of a finishing move that's coming out, but we saw Gaz holding them, so I'm surprised they didn't release those already. Maybe that was a hint that they are going to be added to the game, but it won't be for a little while. We've also seen instances where trailers do showcase certain pieces of content that don't actually exist, or content that gets canceled and never really talked about again, so maybe the Cali sticks are on the cutting room floor, but I do think they're going to come out at some point soon, since once again, they got used quite a bit during MW's life cycle. We also know about the sword that got leaked out, and obviously that's fascinating considering the leaked Season 2 cover art does show somebody holding a sword, so that'll probably be the melee weapon that we see in Season 2, but the fact that was data mined many months ago probably means that that's been on deck for a while, but they're waiting for the right time to end up dropping that weapon. But for a Japanese themed season, I think the sword does make sense for Season 2. But along with that, we got some new information you guys probably didn't know about, and that's the fact that other melee weapons were also discovered not too long ago and were posted by the usual suspects over on Twitter. The first one is the Ballistic knife. That's more of a Treyarch thing, so I'm wondering if that's actually coming to the game or might just be seen through a finishing move. Who knows? Could even be scrapped, but that was found recently. We also have a flaming throwing knife, which sounds badass. That could also be a part of a finisher, but maybe they'll add that in. I know I'm a big user of a throwing knife, so that would be cool to see. And we also have a Shuriken. Now, funny enough, if we're getting a Japanese themed season over in Season 2, the Shuriken being a replacement or a reskin for the throwing knife definitely makes a lot of sense, so I definitely think that'll end up being discovered a lot more once the upcoming bundle list does get leaked out for Season 2, and that'll probably end up getting leaked out maybe during the very last week of January. I'll keep you guys updated with that, but that does line up with the fact that so far for Season 2, we know about a Japanese-style map known as Castle that'll be a part of a Resurgence experience. We saw Ronin on the cover art, and him holding a sword, so this definitely does line up pretty well. But speaking of Ronin coming back in Season 2, I want to get your guys' opinion. How do you feel about returning operators from MW19? Operators that you probably already paid for in that game that don't exist in this game yet, or ones that are locked behind a new paywall. How do you guys feel about that one? I mean, it does work when they add in completely new skins for that character, I guess, but if it's just the same base look that we kind of already had in a previous Modern Warfare, I'm sure you guys are probably a bit upset about that. We also have Legend himself, Alejandro, for some reason isn't playable just yet, alongside Price, Soap, and even Ghost. Even Farah, they aren't available to play as, and that's Task Force 141, so I'm wondering if they're going to drip feed those operators over the next couple of seasons. Maybe in each season coming up, we end up seeing at least one core member of Task Force 141 added via a bundle or a raid reward, possibly even something else. And I think Alejandro is probably due to come out really, really soon, probably in Season 2, because they'll probably end up saving Price, Soap, Ghost, even Farah for a future update like they did in MW19, where we had to wait until Season 4 to see somebody like Captain Price. Now, don't forget you could play as Price, Farah, and Gaz through the first episode of Raids, and obviously you could buy Gaz right now, but you can't play as Price, Farah, Soap, or Ghost unless you have the Red Team pack from the Vault edition of the game, and I don't think that'll be the case for a while. I definitely think in the next season or two we'll end up seeing at least one bundle added for each of those characters, so be patient with that one. But I do get the frustration that you could play as some of them for free already. Why not just add in another free method to play as them in some of the other game modes over in COD 2.0? Now, we also can't forget the list of game modes that leaked out from the Ghost of Hope. He went ahead and mentioned Reinforce, Drop Zone, Gun Game, Infected, Uplink, Cranked, and then we have Cyber Attack, which already came out, Team Defender, and even Grind. And don't forget, Gunfight is also a part of this list, it's not a part of the tweet, so any one of those modes could also drop at some point in Season 2, or even if there is a surprise update at some point in January with some minor content, let it be an extra ground war map, let it be a playlist update, or just a game mode that gets added in. They might end up doing that before the start of Season 2, just keep that in mind, but any one of those modes as well could also drop at some point soon. I would highly recommend them dropping in some more party game modes as soon as they can, hopefully with Season 2, because we need some Gun Game and Infected. That's always something just refreshing to play if you don't want to sweat your balls off on some other 6v6 modes or Warzone or even DMZ, so we'll have to wait and see what's going on in terms of extra game modes over in COD 2.0. Now, I'm happy we don't know much about any upcoming maps for Modern Warfare 2. Let's keep that a surprise, at least for now, or at least until the preload goes live for the next season, and then the leakers start putting stuff over on Twitter. But we know about the images that popped up for maps like Oilfield and Sunken. Those popped up in, I think, the Season 1 preload, so those hackers posted images of those over on Twitter. Those are obviously maps taken from Almas, which are going to be for Ground War, Invasion, etc. We also know about the upcoming Resurgence map for Warzone 2.0, which I'm really looking forward to, just to kind of speed up the gameplay a little bit. That's why I'm a big fan of Building 21, because the gameplay is so much faster on there in comparison to regular Almas DMZ or even Almas Battle Royale, so that's going to be great. And the League Season 2 cover art does show us a glimpse of that map, which shows us a castle, but hey, World at War didn't invent castles, so it might not be the same one that we know and love from that game or even from Vanguard, but it'll be a part of the Resurgence map that might also be turned into a Ground War experience like we got a leak previously of, and then we can also play DMZ on the Resurgence map as well, which is going to be exciting. So I'm curious if that'll be the Building 21 equivalent in Season 2, where we get that brand new map for Warzone that also allows you to play DMZ on it. So I have to wait and see how that works. But as I talked about in a previous video here on the channel, we have a big Warzone 2 map coming out, probably not in Season 2, but definitely in a future update that'll be taking place over on Las Almas. All the points of interest for that big map have already leaked, as I talked about in that video. But let me know how you feel about even more Warzone 2 maps coming out down below in the comments, and many more maps in comparison to what we got for Warzone 1. Now, I think it's great that we know quite a bit already about Season 2 in terms of content that's kind of on deck, ready to go, despite there being no official info or big leaks really about what we're going to see in terms of maps or weapons. Now, the last thing I'll say is that it's not out of the question to also see some new Spec Ops missions in some future seasons. Obviously, we're going to get a raid in every upcoming season that we have for Modern Warfare 2's life cycle, and raids are a part of Spec Ops, but wouldn't be shocked if we got at least one mission per season going forward. I'm a fan of those because not only is it a cool gameplay opportunity for those out there that want to try something a bit different, gives you an opportunity to level up and rank up some of those tier kits, get some stars, but it also feels different playing some of the Spec Ops missions that take existing areas from the game already, but maybe make the map or environment set at night or during the sunset, which is different from just daylight Almas that we have in Battle Royale or DMZ. So that's always a nice change of pace, and I definitely think we're going to get at least one mission, at least one per season. But at the same time too, wouldn't be shocked if they just cut support for that mode entirely and just said, hey guys, the raid that comes out every season is the most you're going to see in terms of Spec Ops updates for the remainder of the game's life cycle. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the next major DLC content for Modern Warfare 2? How are you feeling about the new material that was found recently by some of the usual suspects, and even the bundle schedule? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.